Open spaces, a sky full of stars, and sleepless nights seem to be ill fitting partners when it comes to sleep issues in rural areas. On today's episode, we will look at some of the shortcomings associated with sleep care in rural areas, as well as some of the unique issues that many in those wide open spaces face when it comes to getting a good night's sleep. I'm Jay, and this is Somnilopod. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. As always, I'm really glad that you decided to spend some time with me. And I want to talk about something that I haven't really covered in the past. But as some of you may know, I recently moved to an area that is much more rural than anywhere I've ever lived. And it's brought some things to light that I really feel it's necessary to talk about. When we talk about sleep problems, most of the conversation tends to center around big cities. The late night lights, the noise, the constant hum of activity that never quite lets the mind rest. But out past the streetlights and the crowded highways, there's another kind of sleeplessness. It's quieter, it's lonelier, but it's just as troubling. In rural communities across America, the challenges surrounding sleep are often hidden behind closed doors and long drives, but they're no less real. Rural life carries its own rhythms, slower in some ways, but filled with uncertainty in others. Farmers rise before dawn and often work well past sunset. People in small towns may wear half a dozen hats: caregiver, employee, neighbor, volunteer, and with little separation between work and home life. That constant overlap makes it hard to create clear boundaries for rest. When you live where you work and the rooster replaces the alarm clock, sleep can start to feel like a luxury instead of a necessity, especially in people who have a diagnosable and very treatable sleep disorder. Access to care is one of the big challenges. In cities, a sleep clinic might be just down the road, but in a rural area, that same service could be a 2-hour drive away, if it exists at all. The lack of trained sleep technologists, specialists, and even primary care providers familiar with sleep disorders mean that problems like insomnia and restless legs or even sleep apnea can go undiagnosed. People get used to waking up exhausted and call it just getting older or just part of the job. But untreated sleep issues don't just affect your alertness and your mood, they expand through every part of your health: your blood pressure, your metabolism, your memory, your heart health, and even emotional resilience. And then there's the technology gap. While urban residents may use CPAP apps and telemedicine check-ins or wearable trackers to monitor their sleep, many rural areas still struggle with reliable internet service. A weak connection can make something as simple as a virtual doctor's appointment an ordeal. Even insurance coverage can play a part. Many rural workers are self-employed or part-time, and sleep evaluations aren't always a covered expense. When you're choosing between repairs on your tractor or paying for a sleep study, the decision becomes painfully clear. Environmental factors play a quieter but important role too. Light pollution is often less of an issue in the countryside, hence those skies full of stars. But noise pollution of a different kind is common. Machinery, livestock, and even unpredictable weather can keep nights restless. And on the flip side, isolation and limited social connection can contribute to anxiety and depression, both of which deeply affect sleep. And there's also a cultural element, a sense of stoicism, of toughing it out, that discourages seeking help. For many rural folks, admitting exhaustion feels like admitting weakness. And yet, there's something beautifully resilient about these communities. The same closeness that can make privacy hard to find also allows for grassroots solutions. Reach out for local health fairs offering sleep screenings, or churches and community centers hosting wellness nights. Some county libraries are even getting in on the game with regard to offering private spaces for telehealth visits. And since telehealth is slowly bridging the distance, and mobile clinics are even beginning to reach those who have never had a sleep evaluation before, things can be changing. Education, simple, clear, relatable information is the key. When people understand that sleep isn't a luxury, but a foundation for everything else, change begins to happen. In the end, the story of rural sleep is about connection. It's about making sure people who feed us, who build our homes, and keep the lights on have access to the rest they deserve. It's about replacing that quiet acceptance of fatigue with a conversation, one that says, your sleep matters too. And if this is resonating with you, please reach out to me. I have access to be able to hopefully point you in some directions if you're in a rural area, that you may be able to find some information or some access to be able to have somebody look at your sleep issues. I hope this has been informative for you. Please remember to reach out to me. You can touch base with me at j@somnolapod.com or on the socials, the Instagram and the Facebook. And until we talk next time, please remember to make sleep a priority. Thanks so much.